Hey again. It is Team Talk Tuesday, and we're actually here together this week, which is exciting. I missed you guys last week. I actually took a couple days away with my sister, which was much needed, very fun, a little time to recharge, but business kept rolling. I hope you caught the little message that I pre-recorded for you last week. And I hope you're excited and having fun with your business this month. There's lots going on, as always. We are in March when we're recording this, and we have had new releases. We've had pre-sales for a castle, which is pretty amazing. And as of today, just a couple hours ago, Scentsy Family Reunion registration is open. So the plan is for Scentsy Family Reunion, which is our annual convention, but really feels like more of a family reunion when you get together and see friends that you have or haven't met before, people that you maybe only know online, but you finally get together in person. It does feel like a family reunion, the kind you'd want to go to. Anyway, it's so much fun, and there's so much to cover tonight. I have a friend of mine who is also going to share, and I might let her go first and then fill in the gaps of what she doesn't share if she's ready. My friend and frontline, yeah, it's you. Okay. My friend and frontline teammate, Mackenzie, has attended 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. We went to Nashville, Kansas City, Austin in person, right? 3 times in person and 2 times virtually. She only had to miss 1 year since she joined. And I'm going to let her talk about why. Well, I'm going to just let her talk because her SFR stories are much more compelling than anything I can say. Really, go ahead, friend. Go for it.
Hi. Okay. I almost didn't know where to start until I saw my lanyards. And I know that a lanyard is like the most simple little thing. However, sorry about the lighting, by the way. I specifically for you, I put on my Lyft. This is the closest one that I saw. My Lyft Scentsy Family Reunion 2021 t-shirt.
Are you wearing it because I threw mine out by accident?
Yes.
On purpose. I'm a minimalist.
Honestly, I put all of my t-shirts for all the years somewhere, and I found like 2 or 3. And so I put one on because this is the closest one. But this last year's theme was Lyft. And so I found my matching Lyft lanyard, which is adorable because every year, I don't know if you can see that, it's almost hard to see, but every year is different. Now this one, because we were home, I did myself. Now this, I have them all here because I couldn't help myself, because the lanyards alone brought back so many memories.
Can you show us the progression?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
Do you want me to go backward? Can I go backwards? Okay.
Yeah,
so this last year was Lyft. Woo! And so your lanyard, no matter what year, it will be your name, what country you're from, because when we get together for family reunion in the United States, Canada is with us as well. And so they like to know that you're from Canada for some reason. So and your title. So that's pretty great. But the lanyard, and you'll see this when you go, okay? And I say when you go because if I can't encourage you to go, I don't think anybody can. Now, this is so cool because this here, it's basically a badge of honor. And I say that lightly because some people get really into it and some people couldn't care less. But if you just for a second think of these ribbons for yourself alone. So they're, of course, you wear them, with a little bit of pride because you're proud of your accomplishments. Now, this will give a little indication at one brief glance how far you've come in your business and the accomplishments that you have accomplished in that last year. So it will have your title. Last year, I celebrated my 5-year achievement, and I did my stage walk in my living room, and it was wonderful. Now, I also was a trip qualifier because I earned the incentive. Says boot camp graduate. That technically didn't happen because it was canceled because of COVID, but they were proud of me anyway. Lifetime PRV, this one has 90,000. This year will be 100,000, and I will be extra proud of that. And Canada. So there's always a little way of this, how of this goes, but you get to look the part. So you're going to know one of the biggest things I am so excited to share with you is you will feel like nothing else when you are in person with true Scentsy spirit. This is almost indescribable, because until you are at an in-person event, you don't know how this feels. So you can only really rely on people like me to share this with you, because it is pretty darn magical. Now, I say that because everybody there is there for Scentsy. So automatically, you have those thousands of people that you have things in common. Now, that alone can give a sense of comfort, because so many people there struggle with stuff, but they're happy to be there, and they're there because you want to excel further in your business. You want to be encouraged. I told Catherine after the first year, because we kind of went as like a little family trip in Nashville, Tennessee. And we kind of went just because I was like, yeah, okay, family trip time. Sure, it's about that time. And I cried lots of times. And I was like, what is happening? Because you can't feel that sense of excitement, that true sense of encouragement with your business and growth, personal growth. You can't experience that at home by yourself. And I mean, some people have to be home, and I'm so grateful that that is a virtual thing now, but we are going to keep going back because I'm so excited to show these with you, for you. So this one here was Scentsy Purple Lanyard. For perspective, it was, what is that called? Not holographic. I can't remember. Okay.
Like a 3D.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Ilka. I can rely on you. So these also ribbons, and my sister made this holographic name for me. That's me, I'm Mac, but also wore at home, and I was proud of it. Matthew and I made a little, a day of it. We got Nevaeh babysat, our daughter, we got her babysat, and we were very happy to be together. We got sushi and charcuterie, and we made it a thing at home, which is great because I missed out on the Scentsy spirit. Now we had, I have our build lanyards from World Tour and Disney lanyard. And the one I missed, which was really, really sad, was California, but I could not make it. I had other things going on that I couldn't attend. And I feel like I did miss out. To be honest, you know how people say, oh, no regrets, no regrets. And what I missed it for was more important to me. So that is what it is. But if at all possible, you can attend, make it a priority, because your business will explode in the best way possible. If not, all personal things for yourself. You will be more confident. You will be more excitable. You will be like, there are so many wonderful characteristics. These are our lanyards from our incentive trip, because we went on the Symphony of the Seas European cruise. But this is the good stuff, and this is the good stuff because, sorry, there's so many here. The exciting part is that there are so many, if you just allow yourself to open up, there are little things that you don't realize can be real until you experience it. And one of those things, this is like a silly little thing, has nothing to do with family reunion technically, but there was a group that decided to get together. And if you're crafty at all, or if you just want that interchange of real Scentsy spirit in a special little way, there is a group that made lanyard pins. So people collect pins, and that's really cutesy. And there was a group one year, and this was, sorry, they're tangled because I was too excited. This was the first one. This was Share Your Song 2016 Scentsy Family Reunion. Look how far I've come. So my lead ribbon, still from Canada, but these pins were handcrafted and handmade, real cutesy little stuff by a group of people that wanted to just have that interchange of little pieces of joy. So something I didn't even know existed. And when people were able to give me these little things that they worked hard at, it was just showing that community that there's people there that wanted to give me like a tiny little gift. And I wore it proudly around my neck the entire time I was there. Now, this one was pretty awesome and very different because it was all baseball themed. So we were in Austin, Texas. Nope. No, we weren't. We were in Kansas City, right? Kansas City. We were in Kansas City because we went to the Royals game. We went to the Kansas City Royals Stadium. Awesome.
Remember Heidi threw the first pitch?
Yes, absolutely. She did. And we sat just a couple rows behind them. And so we got to go and chat with Heidi and Orville when we were at like a little bit of a lull. And I had, I made a little pin that was the Toronto Blue Jays. And that is what I wore. I wore a bunch of Toronto Blue Jays get up to the Kansas City game because I had no other baseball anything, clearly because I'm Canadian, but very, very exciting stuff. This one was Scentsy Family Reunion in Austin, Texas. And I have a lot more pins on because I was then like, okay, and I collected pins from the places I had traveled. So not just the family reunions, but if I earned a trip and I went on that trip, I made sure to get myself a tiny little reminder of how hard I worked. And I was able to show it, and honestly, mainly for myself because nobody else really cares. But it was so exciting because so many other people did it. And I wore my Pixie Dusters pin and You Can Sit With Us pin because that alone can be a conversation starter with somebody that you're going to meet in 8 states away. And you might make that new lifelong, friend online or whatever. And so incredible. So this one was a very long one, but that's okay. The excitement to get to like set out I know this might be so silly, but to set out your outfits, what you're planning on. There's a team spirit day where anybody that is on like Catherine's team this year, she's super, super, super excited because now this is her first Scentsy Family Reunion as a superstar director. I'm totally stealing your thunder, Catherine. I'm so sorry, but I was too excited because this is her first time. She gets her own block of seats that we get to sit in. So
gentle correction. Not she. We have our own reserved section.
Well, with her name on our block of seats.
You can sit with us, not with me.
She is so she's also worked hard, and you're gonna get to meet other people who maybe like you've seen on Facebook and you're like, oh, I love the way they run their business. And that could be literally anybody, but chances are you're going to stumble across a few, and you can actually meet those people, maybe have a pointed question for them in passing. The conversation, the fact that you guys could share a meal together, like people go to restaurants and we're like, oh yeah, hey, and then we start talking. It's incredible. But the in-person information that's given, the breakouts, the general sessions, you can't get the same vibe from your TV at home. It's pretty good for if you have to be home, and that's not saying that nobody should stay home. This is not like that at all. But when you are feeding off of the excitement of thousands of people that are all getting you even more excited. So you're already excited to be there. and you're already excited to focus on your business or growing your team or helping your team more, those kind of things. But then you realize that there's like other people around you that are like freaking out over the littlest things. And you almost are like, oh, well, I didn't even think of that. And then that you're like, okay, okay. And honestly, I have never not sat in my seat more than at an event, because you're so on edge, like you're ready to just, it's actually a really good exercise, but you are ready for whatever is going to be thrown at you next. And the surprise element, there's always something you were not expecting, always. And we have cried out of excitement because we're blown away. And that is truly all I can say. You are blown away with the feelings that you're going to experience. Feelings you may even not even know you had. But honestly, if you go, when you go, please go. But if you go, don't waste it. I told Catherine this after my first family reunion, that a couple days, that 3-4 days, whatever it was at the time, that gave me so much drive for my entire year of business. And like, that's a lot. Like that's a long time. A year's a long time in order to do it all over again, but with something new and something fresh. And of course you have World Tour in there to break up that full year. But the in-person events will do so much good for you than you ever have expected.
Wow. Thank you. I feel like we could just end it right now. And I feel like canceling so that I can enroll again, because you have me so excited. Thank you so much for sharing. I love listening to you talk about SFR, and I ask you to do it every year, and I love it every year. So thank you. And thank you for keeping all your stuff, because I have none of that. So yeah, I'm not a keeper. I am very minimalist, but I'm okay with that. I'm still here and I still go every year. So I wanted to revisit a couple things that Mackenzie brought out. One was she started off with her lanyard with the ribbons. And I definitely wanted to talk about that today. I was chatting before we started about how I was on a live workout class today and got a shout out from the instructor, and that made my day. Like, and then I thought, that's like SFR. There's so much live in-person recognition by people that you look up to, right? They recognize, I don't even want to tell you all the things they recognize you for, but starting with the ribbons, you have visible, tangible recognition for everything that you've accomplished in the last year, which is huge. And please wear those ribbons with pride. It doesn't matter if you have one or a dozen, be proud of them because you worked hard for them. Another thing is definitely the like palpable energy in the room. I remember Mackenzie walking in to the dark room in Kansas City, the Swing for the Fences year. And the teammates that we were with were like literally their mouths dropped. It was like the epitome of childlike wonder. If you've ever seen a kid, they say that at Disney World, if you are pointing with your mouth open like a child, that means it's really good. And that's what you do when you walk into SFR. You just go, and every year it's different and better, and it's insane. And there's surprises. Oh, the surprises. One year, in 2015, we were in Las Vegas, and that was the year that they rebranded and revealed the new logo and the butterfly, and Heidi gave her butterfly effect talk. We had to close our eyes, and then when we opened them, there were millions of little tissue paper butterflies floating down from the ceiling. I've got goosebumps right now. It was amazing. If you have never sat 10 feet away from a confetti cannon and gotten confetti down your dress or in your shoes or in your purse, you haven't lived. You have to come to SFR for that.
these are real things that have happened. If you've never done snow angels in a pile of confetti, you're not living.
I have to add to that, the musical entertainment of whatever is also amazing. I remember when what song was it that they sang at Share Your Song in Tennessee?
The Disney a cappella group.
Yeah, the Disney a cappella group
from Disney World. It was When You Wish Upon a Star, and they were announcing all the Shining Star finalists. And
they were singing live, and it was goosebumps.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I have one more thing to add because I don't want to forget it. If any of, and I say this loosely because of obvious reasons, but if any of the charities that the charitable cause warmer or charitable cause products affect you personally or someone you're close with, that alone will be a very intense experience emotionally for you too. So a side point. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. And yeah, for sure. I'm going to do a really quick read through of what's included in registration. I'm going to quote Canadian prices because 99% of our group is Canadian. For in-person registration, it is $380 Canadian per consultant or guest. Okay, there's no separate guest price. That's because your guest gets the same experience that you do. They get the same sessions, the same t-shirt kit, they get a lanyard, any giveaways if they happen. So it is from June 23rd through 25th. In Salt Lake City, Utah. Registration starts today and goes till April 30th, or it can sell out. We can reach capacity. There is a payment plan. Also, you can put down $100 and pay the rest in installments every month until then. So they make it easy for us. So registration includes access to all Scentsy sessions and breakouts. So when we've had our virtual events, we have general session and then we have on-demand breakouts. It's a little different when it's in person. General session is usually, I don't know how it'll be this year because of whatever requirements, they're going to be following whatever the local guidelines are, of course. But it's generally in a big room, and that's where you get the energy from. And the breakouts are in smaller rooms, but you're still listening and seeing a live person speak to you. These are consultant experts on their topics sharing what has worked for them. You get your spirit kit, including a t-shirt, workbook, lanyard, name badge, and ribbons. In-session product giveaways. Can I tell you, the day that SFR kicked off in Anaheim in 2018, we were sitting in the dark room and Heidi and Orville are talking and they announced the Disney partnership. That was one of those moments where everybody jumped to their feet and screamed. Like, it was insane. And then that same minute, home office staff marched out with armloads of bags of Mickey buddies, handing them out. Like, I've never been on Oprah, but I think that's probably pretty close to what it would feel like. It was incredible. And that can happen at any time during the general sessions. So if you do register, make sure you're in the session. Also, don't just sign up and then go do tourist stuff. Like, be there, be paying attention, put your phone down, take notes in your notebook. Don't be like chatting or texting or on Facebook. Yes, you could Facebook Live it, but Scentsy is streaming what needs to be streamed. And if you've made the investment, like Mackenzie said, don't waste it. Make sure that you get your investment back. And like she mentioned, what you learn and what you gain from it might surprise you. It might not be a new way to party or a new way to follow up. It might be something more personal. I remember listening to Heidi talk about mindset in Kansas City. And when she talked about sitting in the boardroom and how she was so embarrassed and wanted to shrink it down in her chair because she didn't have a degree and she felt like she had a made up title, I was bawling my eyes out. I did correspondence high school. Like, I have a GED diploma, maybe. I could relate to that so much. And I didn't even acknowledge maybe that bothered me at the time, but hearing her articulate that really helped me personally. And then, articulate,
The motivational speakers.
Oh, the speakers. I'm getting there.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
So Scentsy goes all out when they have home office staff. Heidi and Orville won't be with us, but home office staff will obviously be there, consultant speakers, but they hire some serious speakers. Last time we had Seth Godin, who is an amazing, famous, like fantastic author and marketing brain. We had James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, which has been hugely popular for at least 2-3 years now. And the concept of making tiny improvement every single day and how that compounds over time. And it's so true. We had, who else did we have that year? Colin O'Brady, was that his name? O'Brady?
That really quick, witty woman, that little older, well, she's not that old.
No. Amanda Gore.
Yes.
And then Colin O'Grady. I don't know. He's like climbed all the mountains in the whole world, and he crossed Antarctica by himself. Like, you want to be inspired. It's insane. So even to go to an event and listen to one of these speakers, it's worth the ticket. And you never know.
We had Mel Robbins. We had
yes.
Fly Girl. We had oh my god, there was so many. What was oh my goodness, what was his name? He has no limbs.
Nick Vujicic.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you think you can't book a party? Listen to the guy with who was born with no limbs for an hour. You'll feel a different kind of empowerment. And things stick with you. Like you mentioned, Mel Robbins, and one of our other leaders said she still uses that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique to launch herself into action, to send the follow-up message, to ask someone to join, to ask someone to host. So it could be little things that you pick up and just become part of your daily way that you run your business or live your life. Let me go back to the thing here. In-session giveaways, guest speakers, and entertainment. Okay, that's separate. There is a separate fitness activity. Super fun if that's what you're into. Check out the Fitness Marshal on YouTube. Very, very, very fun. Okay, who here is addicted to the consultant store? I know. So, well, I'm not, because I'm a minimalist, but I know that there are people who notice and share immediately anytime something new is loaded into the store. Imagine shopping a consultant store in person where you can see and touch and pick up and try out the things. There is a consultant store on site. Very fun. And sometimes they have like exclusive sales for us and things like that. It's very, very fun. And access to an on-site success expo. So I could describe the expo like a little trade show. It's rows of tables set up and every topic you could think of. There's tables for branding, for parties, for sampling, for conversations, for follow-up, for whatever, anything to do with your business. There's how to take pictures, how to use Photify, how to use Amy. There's people from home office that you can chat with. You can ask questions. You can share ideas with them. And of course, there's new product reveals. They do that throughout the general sessions. Mostly the first night, I think, because then we get to go to the expo and we get to look at all the new products. You get to see and take pictures of and pick up the products before anyone else. So think about all that excitement that you feel when you see a new catalog times 1,000,000, and then you sharing that with your network. Think about how impactful that could be on your business for the latter half of this year, how impactful that could be as you're going into a new incentive earning period. It's wild. The virtual ticket includes live access to all the general sessions, access to virtual breakouts. It also includes a spirit kit, including a t-shirt, workbook, lanyard, name badge and ribbons, so you can still post your selfies, and a surprise gift just for virtual attendees. I do not know what that is because it's a surprise, but I trust Scentsy so much, and I know that the ticket will be worth it. I don't know what it includes, but I know that it will be well worth it, especially if you cannot travel this year. It's definitely worth the investment. And like Mackenzie said, make it a little event at home. Go stay at a hotel locally if you want, or have a sleepover with your teammates, or order pizza, whatever makes it special for you. But it is, I've never heard someone say they were disappointed, that they went and they hated it. You know, there's so many things that we didn't even touch on, but yes, we will have our own reserved seating section, and I will be there with hugs if you're comfortable with them, high fives, elbow bumps, candy, maybe a button. I think I have to redesign. I usually have little teeny tiny buttons for your lanyard, so we might have to get a new one. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. If you have more questions, reach out to your sponsor, your director, to myself, post on the team page, ask consultant support or events, but we would love to have you, and we would love to answer any questions. We have gone over time. Thank you for your time. I hope you had fun. I hope you're excited and at least going to look into it. There are ways to keep costs down. I know one of our directors road trips with her teammates and rents a house, and they love it every time. Lots of ways to do it within a budget. And I think our tax pro would remind us that we should save our receipts, because this would be a write-off. Anyway, that said,
100% of a write-off.
100% write-off. There you go. You heard it here first. You still have to pay for it, but you write it off. Anyway, friends, have a great night. We will see you next week. Next week is our paint night. So check in the team page for that, or shoot me a message if you haven't seen or heard about it. Have a good one, guys.